Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be my June TBR. On my channel, I play a game called Roll the Dice with a dash of chaos. We did really switch up this game as of last month and you guys loved it, I loved it, so we're doing that again this time. If you're new here, hello, my name is Emily. This is MacInnis Mama, where you'll find mostly bookish content. Before we go do the rolls for my June TBR, we need to have a look at my May TBR to see if I completed reading half of the books plus my challenges, and if I didn't, I need to pull a punishment from my challenge jar. So for not completing my April TBR, I needed to read a classic. I chose Little Women by Louisa May Alcott, and I did read this. Next up we have Daisy Hates by Jessa Hastings, and I did read this. For a hardcover book, I had Darling Girl by Liz Michalski, and I'm currently reading this, so I'm going to count it. A book seen on TikTok, I chose Hopeless by Elsie Silver, and I did read this. For a book with the letter J, I chose Nevernight by J. Kristoff. I did not read this. I also did not read God's Grave or Red Rising. I also had two library books that have since been returned. One was Bloodmarked by Tracy Dion, which I did not get to, and the other was Gallows Hill by Darcy Coates, and I did read that. So if you are keeping track, I did complete 50% of my TBR plus my challenge, which I'm so excited for. I feel like it's been a number of months since I succeeded. I could be wrong on that, but I'm usually not very good at sticking to my TBR. But that means I do not need to pull a punishment prompt before we start our June rolls. Before we go and do that, I just have a little update that June, July, August is going to be the summer of romantasy for me. We have Covers with Cassidy's every Romantasy challenge, and we have Tori Between Pages summer Romantasy-athon, and I will be participating in both of those. So the goal is to get as much fantasy romance on this TBR as possible, read as many books as I possibly can. I am so excited. Fantasy romance is my favorite subgenre, if you will, and I'm hoping to get a ton of reading done this summer. So all that rambling aside, I'm really excited for my June TBR. If you want to watch me roll the dice, pull the prompts, all of that, then just keep on watching and I'll meet you right back here with my picks. I'm so happy you guys loved the way we did Roll the Dice with a Dash of Chaos last month, so we are going to be doing that again. As you can see, we have a ton of fantasy romance options, buddy reads, library holds, all of that. Let us set up our gameplay. So we have the challenge jar over here in spot number 1, because when I roll a dice, obviously I cannot roll a 1. So let's place my Kindle in here first in spot number 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's going to go in right here. We will next place the easy bin in spot number 2. And lastly, the bin of hard prompts is in spot number 10. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I guess 10 is right here. Okay, here we go. I am filming this about a week earlier than I need to because I'm just so excited about Summer of Romantasy. All right, we're now ready to do roll number 1. 2, and those are doubles, so we need to pull a challenge. But first, number 2 is an easy prompt. Poll pick, so I will put that up on my Instagram. And our challenge for doubles, is this 2? I'm not sure. I need to pick 2 books for the same prompt. So am I doing an easy or a hard prompt? Let's do an easy prompt, or should I? Yeah, we'll do that because we got easy the first time. So I need to pick 2 books for this challenge, 2 YA books. While we're here and I have lots of options for my 2 YA picks, I'm going to grab these 2. So Belladonna by Adeline Grace and The Kiss of Deception by Mary E. Pearson. Is that correct? Yes. Roll number 2. 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That is my Kindle, so I can choose a Kindle read. Roll number 3. 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Book Lovers by Emily Henry. Roll number 4. Doubles again. This is 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Will this finally, oh dear, be the month? And because that was doubles, we need a challenge prompt, and Emmett wants to choose it. Oh dear, all our books fell down.
Let's fix that, Mom.
I'll fix it in a second. What's our challenge? This one feels really crumpled. Book you DNF'd. Oh dear. Thank you for the kiss. Roll number 5. Are we serious right now? 8 and doubles. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 is a hard prompt. Can you reach that, Emmett?
Yeah.
Most recent purchase. For that, I'm going to choose A Photo Finish by Elsie Silver. As long as this is the first book in the Gold Rush Ranch series, I just bought a romance book bundle off Facebook Marketplace, and this was in there. And doubles again, which means another challenge. No.
No.
This means we are keeping all of these books and whatever prompts I already got, but we are starting over at roll number 1. So it's basically 8 additional rolls. I wanted to read a lot in June, but this is just mean. Okay. Wow, I think I'm in shock. Okay, roll number 1 again. 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Slaying the Vampire Conqueror. This stack is getting thick. Roll number 2 again. 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. A thriller, Someone We Know by Sherry Lapina. Roll number 3 again. Excuse you.
Excuse me.
10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Rereading the first Zodiac Academy book. Roll number 4. 6. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. A Kindle read again. I will choose that in a little bit. Roll number 5. 9. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 6 scorched. Roses.
Oops. Sorry, Mom.
That's all right. Roll number 6. Oh, for Pete's sake. Another challenge. A number 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Shadow in the Ember by JLA. Whoa. Okay. Challenge. This one is really mean. No new books. No buying books. No more like additional library holds. I can't place more library holds. I can pick up previous ones. And no more KU downloads throughout the month. So I just need to read from what I have. I'm one of those people that always has the 20 out from KU, so I should be fine. But this one's really mean. Roll number 7. 7, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, a hard prompt. Swap that for 2 easy prompts that I need to try and combine if possible. So a random letter. And a book I've seen on TikTok. All right, let's generate a random letter together. H, do I have a book title or author that starts with H that I have seen on TikTok? I've definitely seen this on TikTok. Is that the only one I have? I think so. H for Hannah Witten. I'm going to put on The Foxglove King. This is bananas. Well, I'll be pulling a challenge next month too because there's no way I'm reading all of these. Hopefully our final roll number 8, but actually roll number 13 because we had to start over. Okay, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Another Kindle book. I can do that. So we have all of these physical books, plus I still need to do a poll pick as well as a bunch of Kindle reads. Wowie, wow, wow. This was the meanest my game has ever been to me. I struggle with completing 50% of my 8 rolls, but here we are. I did want to read 15 plus books this month, but you guys know I really struggle sticking to my TBR list for whatever reason. I don't know. I get easily distracted, and even just completing 4 to 5 off my list is usually a struggle for me, though I read over 10 books every single month. So okay, so this is going to be a very long video apparently. Let's get going. Roll number 1 was a poll pick. So on my Instagram, I posted options: The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue versus The Serpent and the Wings of Night, and it was literally 50-50. So I am choosing The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue by V.E. Schwab because this is going to be a buddy read with me and Sam, and I'm really looking forward to it. This has been on my shelves for a long time, and this does fall into the fantasy romance category a smidgen. I'm going to count it, but this is a very different feel compared to a lot of the other picks, so I think this will be a good kind of like palette cleanser type book. Does that make sense? Along with that, that was doubles on my first roll. I had a challenge and it was pick 2 books for 1 prompt, and the prompt I got was young adult. So the 2 young adult books I chose were The Kiss of Deception by Mary E. Pearson. This is on my 24 to read in 2024, and Belladonna by Adeline Grace, which I believe is on my 23 to read in 2023, and I didn't get to it. Both of these are young adult fantasy romances. They're both the starts to series, which I'm just now considering my picks, and a lot of them are starts to new series, which was probably not very smart, but here we are. I think having some YA on the list will be good so I can read them a little bit faster. For roll number 2, I got my Kindle pick, and for this I'm going to choose The Serpent and the Wings of Night. So this is what helped me with that 50-50 poll. The Serpent and the Wings of Night is on Kindle Unlimited, and this is such a beautiful edition, and I've been in my Kindle era recently. I will most likely read it on my Kindle anyways, though I own the physical copy. But this is an extremely hyped Romantasy series that I cannot believe I haven't picked up yet, so I feel really good about this pick. But this is only roll number 2, and we already have 4 books on the TBR. Roll number 3, something a bit different. We have Book Lovers by Emily Henry. This is a contemporary romance that I think will be beautiful to read in the warmer weather. I think this has some summery vibes, at least I hope that it does. But once again, a good palette cleanser, something to break up all the fantasy, and I have been really wanting to read this. This was gifted to me by my beautiful friend Rebecca. Roll number 4 doubles again, and it landed on a huge chunky book that I have been avoiding like the plague. This is Iron Flame by Rebecca Yarros. I have now been seeing more positive than negative, but this arrived to me late, my pre-order did, and then I saw so much negativity surrounding this book that I have been scared of it ever since. So this, I need to read this. I need to just rip off the band-aid, get it over with. This is the sequel to Fourth Wing, if you're unfamiliar, a dragon romantasy, and I loved Fourth Wing. Like, it was my favorite book of last year, so that's why I'm super hesitant to be disappointed by this one, but here we go. And the challenge I pulled for that was a book I DNF'd. Now, I had to think of what was a book that I would be willing to give another shot, because there's quite a few books I've DNF'd that I absolutely will not be giving a second chance to, and I chose The Blood is Love by Karina Halley. This is the book that follows Black Sunshine. I liked Black Sunshine. It is a dark vampire fantasy romance, but I hated The Blood is Love. I DNF'd it at around 25%. There was a blood drinking smut scene that involved latching on to an appendage that I could not handle. So I'm going to give it another try. I am allowed to DNF it twice. I'm going to start it at the beginning, try again, and it is a fantasy romance, so hopefully it can fit a prompt in, you know, Summer of Romantasy-athon, etc., and it's not very long. So that is on my Kindle. Roll number 5, and now this is where shit hits the fan. So I got the prompt most recent purchase. I am showing the wrong book when I was rolling the dice. I actually need to read Off to the Races by Elsie Silver first. This is the first book in the Gold Rush Ranch series, which I am buddy reading with Sam, and I just purchased this very recently. I purchased a romance book bundle, so this definitely counts for my most recent purchase. Another contemporary romance that I am super excited for. The challenge prompt I pulled was Start Over. This is the meanest challenge prompt I have in that bin, and though we've been doing this for a year and a half, I had never pulled it before, but June was the month that my game decided to put me in my place. Start over means I don't completely scrap all of these books I have already chosen, but I'm basically starting over with my rolls. I need to start at roll number 1 again. So essentially adding 8 rolls onto my game. And I have so many challenges already that I just know I won't I'm not being set up for success, that's for sure. So, roll number 1, take 2. I got Slaying the Vampire Conqueror by Carissa Broadbent. I plan on reading this before The Serpent and the Wings of Night. I know you're supposed to do Serpent of the Wings of Night, Slaying the Vampire Conqueror, Ashes and the Star-Cursed King, and then 6 Scorched Roses, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong, please. I'm not going to do this. I'm going to read this one first. This is a book in the Crowns of Nyaxia series, but it is a standalone romance, and I think it's going to be a really quick read. Roll number 2, take 2. I got Someone We Know by Sherry Lapina. This is a thriller that I need to read for a TikTok video project. I don't know anything about it. It says no one does suburban paranoia quite like Sherry Lapina, so I've been liking a thriller every once in a while. I can't seem to go a month without a reread getting on the list, so roll number 3, take 2 is Zodiac Academy, The Awakening, the first book. It has been years since I read this book, so I wanted to reread this before going into the second book. I have pulled all the fantasy romance off my shelves and was trying to come up with a plan for this summer of romantasy reading and realized there are some series that I need to reread the first book in order to continue. So in June I will be rereading this first Zodiac Academy book in the hopes to then dive into the second book. Again, a kind of popcorn read. I think I'll be able to read this really quickly. I did not love it the first time I read it, but I'm willing to give the series a second chance. Roll number 4, take 2. I got my Kindle again, and for this time I am choosing the Who Did This To You book club pick for June. That is a book club I try and participate with. It's hosted by Tori Between Pages, and one of the squares for the summer Romantasy-athon is to participate in the book club. So we will be reading Beneath Black Sails by, I'll pop up the picture here, Claire Sager, I believe, who wrote A Kiss of Iron, which I have not read yet. And this is a piratey fantasy romance, so I'm hoping it gives all of the summer vibes. Roll number 5, take 2, is another short book. This is 6 Scorched Roses by Carissa Broadbent, a novella in the Crowns of Nyaxia series. So I now have all of the Crowns of Nyaxia physical books I own on this TBR, so hopefully I can read through all 3. I do not own Ashes yet, that's why I said it that way. Roll number 6 was doubles again, but the book that was chosen was A Shadow in the Ember by Jennifer L. Armentrout. This is the first book in the Flesh and Fire series. I really just need to get back into these books and finally decide if they are worth continuing on for me. I loved From Blood and Ash, and then it kind of went downhill rapidly for me, and this is the next book I need to read. And the challenge I got for that role was so rude. It is no new books now. Because we're in the summer of Romantasy-athon, there are prompts that need to be filled, and my mom has mentioned she wants to come up here. We live far apart, and she wants to have a girls' day of sushi lunch and the bookstore. I already know I'm going to fail this challenge. So the intent behind this challenge is I get really distracted by seeing a book on Instagram or TikTok, seeing a quote I like, and immediately downloading it on KU and reading it and ignoring my TBR. Or I see someone recommend a book that's maybe a backlist book and I will request it from my library immediately, and then library loans trump everything else. So it was kind of meant as a way to focus on my TBR and not keep accumulating and reading new books I acquire versus the ones on my TBR. But I just feel like that's not going to work for the summer of romantasy, you know? I am going to limit my book buying. I'm not going to be scrolling on Facebook Marketplace or seeking out little free libraries, all of that, but we'll see how I do. And as a reminder, I need to complete all of my challenges in order to not pull a punishment as well the next month. So That is challenge number, that's my 4th challenge. So it's not gonna happen, you know? Role number 7 was a 2-prompter that I needed to try and fulfill together. And I got a random letter generator, which I got H in a book I've seen on TikTok. And for that, I chose The Foxglove King by Hannah Witten. The H is in the author's name, same as I did last month. This was gifted to me by one of my clients, which I'm so grateful for. I think it was for either my birthday or Christmas. So sweet. This is the first book in the Nightshade Crown series, and I think I'm really gonna like this. This is also on my 24 to read in 2024. Role number 8, final roll. I got my Kindle again. And for this, I'm choosing Queen of Roses by Briar Boland. This is a fantasy romance arc that I was approved for through NetGalley, which I'm so excited for. It is the first in a series and the cover is absolutely stunning. So this is one of my priorities to read and review, as it is my first arc copy. And that completes my June TBR. We have 16 books on this list. So I need to read 8 of them plus all my challenges. We all know I'm going to have to pull a punishment prompt for my July TBR, but that is fine because I did achieve having an absolutely stacked, literally, fantasy romance TBR for June to help me complete my summer of romantasy goals. I don't know what prompts everything is going to fit for. I need to put that down because that was super heavy. But there will be lots of fantasy romance themed content coming at you on all of my platforms, Bookstagram, Book Talk, and YouTube. So if you're interested, definitely give me a follow. All my links are in my description box. If you have any fantasy romance video requests, reading vlog ideas, definitely leave those in the comments. What do you plan on reading for June? I'm still in a little bit of shock over my June TBR, but if you enjoyed today's video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up so that I know, and I will see you in my next one. Bye!